come crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. When it's swinging my way, I just need some. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So this is weird. So yeah, I've started a YouTube channel and I don't know how to talk to the camera, so that's brilliant. Right guys, so I thought I'd spare you basically 2 hours of me telling you that this is a soft glam look. This is what I wear every single time I go out because I'm basic and it's just so easy and it goes with everything because it's gold and brown. So yeah. So I'm starting off using Aveeno, which is really good for my skin because my skin is drier than the Sahara Desert as I have eczema, so that's great. So next I'm moving on to brows, and for brows I always like to comb through with not brow gel, it's actually clear mascara and you get more for your money because it's bigger than brow gel. Next up is the brow powder by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm just brushing this through really lightly here as you can see, and I've cut the rest of it out because it did take me a while. You guys know about the brows. So this is the finished look of the brows. I like to keep it quite natural and they are definitely not twins, they are sisters. After brows, I'm moving on to the base. This is my ride or die product when it comes to eyes. I cannot live without it. It really makes every eyeshadow that I use pop on my eyelid. It's a foundation to the eyes. I'm not going to show you me applying it because that's totally boring. You don't need to see that. But I just needed to get in there that you need this product in your life. Let me tell you. Okay, moving on. Once I've got the base laid down, I'm then going to move on to eyeshadow. And for this look, I'm using the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Wow, that is a great zoom there, Ski. So starting off, I'm just going to take this brown shade from the palette, and rather than buffing this into the crease of the eyelid, I'm just going to be packing this into the eyelid, which I will admit, it does look a bit dodgy when you start off. But trust me when I say this is a process. And this is a new technique that I've only just recently come across. So packing the colours onto the lid rather than buffing them out really does make them stand out so much better. Oh, here comes another great zoom in shot of the palette. So I'm next going to be taking a slightly lighter shade than what I've just used, and I'm going to be using this shade to buff the darker shade out just so you can get a more seamless blend. And like I said, this is a great technique to use when you want the eyeshadows to really stand out on the eyelid. Just a tip for you guys, I wish I knew this tip when I was younger. When you're blending out the eyeshadow in this way, make sure you're using a really light hand and holding the end of the brush. Once I've finished blending out the eyeshadows on the crease of the eyelid, I'm then going to be taking this Acid Rain brush by P. Louise to cut my crease. Now this brush is so precise and really good for cutting out the crease, so I would advise everybody to go and buy it because it's amazing. For the look that I'm doing today, you don't have to be so precise with where you are putting this concealer to cut your crease, because I will be going in with some loose glitter and I am going to want it to look kind of messy for this look. But if you do want it to be a bit more precise, really take your time with this. There's no rush when it comes to makeup. Right then guys, once I've finished cutting out the crease, I'm going to take this P. Louise loose glitter in the shade, I think this is A Hint of Desire. Yes, that is right. Couldn't really tell there from my fantastic zoom in shots. Okay, so like I said before, I don't want this look to be too precise. I do want it to look a little bit messy, but messy good, not messy bad, if that makes sense. Probably not, but hey ho. So for this I'm just going to be taking my ring finger and I'm just going to be patting on the loose glitter. And just like that, I go from having just one eye done to both of them done with the power of amazing editing. And then here are my lashes that I've used. They are Doll Beauty. I think these ones are Poly. I'm not sure. I'll just put them down in the description below. Moving on to skin. Yay, my favourite part. So I'm going to be starting off with primer, of course. Now this primer is by Chanel. I'm not sure which one exactly, so I'll leave it in the description below. It is pretty pricey, but if you have dry skin, it's so worth it. It is the best primer I've used ever. It's so good, trust me. After primer comes foundation, and this one is by Anastasia Beverly Hills and is in the shade 300C, which I only use if I have a tan because I'm far too pale for that. And I'm going to be applying this with a peaches and cream brush. I'll leave it in the description below if you can't see which one it is. Probably not, because my zoom is awful. And I like to use this brush because I just feel like it disperses the product so far and it just leaves your skin looking really, really good. I mean, sometimes I will go in after with a beauty blender if I don't feel like it has blended the way that I want it to. One thing I will say about this foundation is that it works really, really well on dry skin, and best believe my skin is the driest you will ever come across. It's literally like the Sahara Desert. I do have eczema, so that's probably, you know, a contribute to why I have dry skin. But yeah, this foundation just makes my skin look so glowy, which is always the target for me when I'm doing my makeup, because I do not want to look crusted and busted. Nobody wants to look like that. Editing this back, I'm kind of like, what am I doing? My makeup is not finished. Anyway, so I'm moving on to concealer here. Now this is the Revolution Conceal and Define concealer in the shade C1, which is, can I just say, the identical match to Tarte Shape Tape, which I also have. It's really, really good, and it's £4. £4. I thank Holly Boone for that because she introduced me to it. Not that I know her personally, I wish I did, but I don't. So yeah, I'm just putting the concealer first of all on my under eye straight away and then blending it out straight away. Now the reason why I blend the under eyes out first rather than putting the product everywhere where I want it and then blending it out is just because I just feel like this is the easiest way to do it. It creases less, and if you have a concealer that dries out quickly, it's not going to dry out if you blend it straight away. You know what I'm saying? So once I've finished blending out the under eyes, I take my RCMA translucent powder and I'm going to take this on a teeny tiny little beauty blender, and I'm just going to concentrate this on the under eyes just because my under eyes crease really, really badly, so I just feel like I need to get the powder on straight away so that the concealer won't crease. When you are putting the translucent powder under the eyes, make sure you really are concentrating it just on the under eyes, only because later on I'm going to go in with a cream product, and cream products on top of powders just don't mix very well, and that is the #1 rule to makeup. Well, there is no rules to makeup, but if there were to be, that would be #1. Then once I've finished buffing out the translucent powder, I'm going to go back in with the concealer and I'm going to take this on the chin, the centre of the forehead and down the nose. And then I'm going to take a beauty blender and blend it all out. When I'm going over my smile lines, I make this puffer fish face just so that the concealer doesn't crease, because I get really bad smile lines. After concealer comes contour, and for this I'm using a stick foundation actually by shock horror, Anastasia Beverly Hills, the best makeup brand in my opinion, and this is in the shade Contour. And all I'm doing for this is I'm just going to be placing it where I'd usually put contour, which is, for a guideline, the top of my ear to mid between my mouth and my nose. And then I'm just going to take a brush, this is by Real Techniques, it's just an angled brush, and I'm just going to blend this out. And look how quick it is, it's honestly unreal. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm also going to be taking this product on my forehead just to kind of give a bit more colour to my face rather than it just looking one blank colour. As well as putting this product on my forehead, I'm also going to be putting it along my jawline and under my chin to try and hide them double chins. And also hoping for a chiselled, snatched jawline. I mean, we try. After contour, I'm going to be taking this Morphe sponge that has an angled edge and some translucent powder. And I'm just going to be placing this directly under the contour. And trust me when I say this, doing this step will change your makeup routine. It will change your life. It just creates a much more clean, sharp contour, which I absolutely live for. Next up is bronzer, and I'm taking the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in Tangtastic, which, as you can tell by the expression on my face, smells incredible. And I'm taking this on a Morphe brush. Now, I'm not entirely sure which brush this is because I did get it in a set, but I'm sure there'll be similar ones out there, if not the exact same, on the Morphe website. Now, I'm not too specific with where I put my bronzer. I just go over all of the areas that I have contoured, and I also go over the nose because I like it to look sun-kissed. And yeah, I just place it anywhere I want to look bronzed, which is basically my whole face. After bronzer comes blush, and I'm using a MAC blush called Love Cloud. This is my favourite part of the whole makeup routine. I just feel like it brings so much more colour back into your face. It just, I just love the way it makes your whole makeup look. It brings so much colour and life into your skin. Okay, so I know it looks like I'm wearing a lot of blush. That's because I am. I'm putting a lot on. Number one, because it's my favourite part of the routine, and number two, because it's actually the first product that starts to come off during the day. Once I've finished with blush, I'm then going to be taking this Slay All Day setting spray by Gerard Cosmetics, which again smells incredible. You can get different scents. This one is in the scent Jasmine, and this is to prep the skin for highlighter. I am taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Times Amrezy highlighter, which is my favourite product of all time. I mean, I cannot fault this product. It speaks for itself. Look at that glow. Now, for my highlighter, I am going in with both a beauty blender and a brush just to get that perfect blend between the bronzer, blush and highlighter. Okay, almost there guys, I promise. I think we've got about 2 more steps left to do. So this step I'm going to be blending out the under eye. So I'm just going to be taking the same 2 eyeshadows that I took for the crease in the under eye. and I'm just going to be packing this in first of all and then slowly blending it up to the top of the eyelid. Now there is no real crazy technique for this. All I would say is just make sure that once you're going up to the top of the eyelid that you are blending it out so that it doesn't just look like one harsh line coming from your under eye to the eyelid, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So again, like I said, for the crease you want to be using a real light hand for this and holding the brush nearer towards the bottom end, just so that it helps the eyeshadows blend a lot easier. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with the mascara. I'm pretty sure you all know how to apply mascara, but I was just showing you which one I was using. And then I'm going to be popping on a MAC eyeshadow into the inner corners of the eye and top of the brow bone. This is in the shade Nylon, which is really good for the inner corner and brow bone. And then last but not least is of course the lips. And for some reason I forgot to film the products that I used apart from the lip liner, so that's brilliant. Anyway, I used MAC Strip Down lip liner, MAC Honey Love lipstick and Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm. So that's it guys, this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got to the end of this video, I applaud you. I know, it was long, but we got there in the end guys. Remember, it is a process. You can make mistakes along the way. I did. But yes, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.